Hi, welcome to Myers ASMR. Thanks for being here. I was waiting and hoping to see you, and now you're here. Ta-da! I am super excited, and yes, I will be adding my own commentary because I cannot help it. First, I need a little snackety snack. You see what I wrote? I believe words, fun, happy life. I believe words have power and they carry energy and vibration. So I put happy and positive words around me. I write on things. It's still hot, but it's so divine. Oh my God, it's just so good. This is Taylor's Christmas spice blend or something. It's a loose leaf Christmas spice tea, basically, which I drink all year round because I just love those Christmas teas. Nope, not sponsored. I wish it was, though. Oh my God, oh my God. It's just so freaking good. The sweetened condensed milk makes a difference. Uh-oh. I see. I gotta clean up a little food spill here. Did I tell you that we're all blessed beings who deserve a wonderful life? Yeah. You too. You're a blessed being who deserves a wonderful life. So let's pick up where we left off with What Women Want, a Man's Guide. And this is actually written by two men, by Laurence Roy Staines and Stefan Bechtel. I think they know what they're talking about. They did their research. Chapter 2. What Women Want? Everything. Well, that's true. For the last 30 years, men have been told that they just don't get it. Women don't get it either. Men will never be women. Maybe it's time her expectations came down out of the blue. In the 1993 movie Groundhog Day, Bill Murray plays an egocentric TV weatherman, Phil, and Andy McDowell plays his young producer, Rita. They have breakfast in a diner and Phil hits on her. "Who is your perfect guy?" he asks. She begins ticking off the qualities. Well, first of all, he's too humble to know he's perfect. He's intelligent, supportive, funny. He's romantic and courageous. He's got a good body, but he doesn't have to look in the mirror every 2 minutes. He's kind, sensitive, gentle. He's not afraid to cry in front of me. He likes animals, children. He'll change poopy diapers. Oh, yes. And he plays an instrument. He loves his mother. Close to the end of this, Phil interrupts to double check something. This is a man we're talking about, right? When it's Andy McDowell rattling off this list of particulars, most guys fall completely under the spell of her beauty and basically agree to everything. Whatever you say, Andy, sigh. Printed here in black and white, however, it's a different story. Hers is a tall order. This scene is a perfect reflection of our times because it's not just Andy McDowell's character who expects all this and more. Most women expect all this and more. I do second that notion. Women do have very high expectations when it comes to men. Now, personally, I feel that you have to know what you want, and if you don't ask, you don't get. So you might as well just put it all out there in the divine universe. Don't hold back. Put it all out there. At no time in human history have women expected so much from men. And as Phil's joke makes clear, this is an androgynous list. If it sounds to you like women want you to be the perfect man and the perfect woman, you're right, they do. And they're unashamed to say so. Listen to a few remarks from our New Woman magazine survey. Men, recapture the feminine part of you. Men need to get in touch with their feminine sides. Men should have more female characteristics across the board. Yeah, right away, ladies. With some women, you don't get any sense that they are aware of the pie-in-the-sky nature of their desires. They're not dreaming up a wish list. They're presenting non-negotiable demands. Listen to Anne in Schenectady, New York. I want a man who can cook and also can fix things around the house. A man to be sensitive and also secure within himself. I want and need it all. I don't want to settle for less. The short answer, are men getting better or worse? We're all getting worse together. Very, 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 very slowly better. I have 2 sons. I am committed to men getting better. Men are getting better. Oh yeah, look at the men from the old days grunting all the time. Women had it bad. Men are so much fun to be with. They're your buddies now. You can do things with them. Men are changing. Men are the same, but our expectations are higher, so therefore they're relatively worse. Those were quotes from different people. One of the big surprises for us in writing this book was the extent of the rage that some women carry around with them each and every day. In a way, it's no wonder. These expectations are impossibly inflated. How can men live up to that? How can life possibly measure up? No wonder they're angry. If any women are reading this now, we don't want you to get angrier. So we're politely asking you to leave. Please skip ahead to the next chapter or peruse the index or something, because we're going to display some emotion. And even though you say that you want us to show our feelings, what you really mean is you want us to show loving feelings about you. If it's anything else, if it's not about you, you get that smirk. You ask us if we've been beating our drums in the woods lately. So we'll catch up with you later, okay? Guys, we need to talk. We need to get it all out on the table right here, right now. The blatantly contradictory things they ask of us. The hypocrisy, the narcissism, the ways they drive us just plain nuts. For just this one chapter, we have to be honest about years and years of frustration. Then we can move on. Most women set out to change a man, and when they have changed him, they do not like him, says Marlene Dietrich. Subject numero uno on which we must set the record straight: the male ego, or as women habitually say, the fabled male ego. Yes, there are plenty of men with inflated egos in this world. Women have a love-hate relationship with the male ego. When they love it, they call it confidence. If nothing else, a big ego comes in handy as armor in the competitive workplace. We can sympathize with Amanda in Ohio when she wrote, "What women don't get about men is the overwhelming sense that they have to be right all of the time." It takes a secure guy to think that Amanda is not belittling him or one-upping him by pointing out that he's not exactly on the mark. But there are plenty of women who get equally prickly at the mere suggestion that they may not be right. That's exemplified by this joke. If a man talks in the farce and a woman isn't there to hear him, is he still wrong? What irks us is when a woman does her little superior dance, when she wags her finger at us and says, "For goodness sake, realize that you are not the center of the universe." What she really wants us to realize is she is the center of the universe. Introducing the fabled female ego. The female ego is not blustery like the male ego, so you might not recognize it instantly if you were to define big ego strictly in male terms. But it's there, cat-like. The key feature of the female ego is an insatiable need for adoration. Men have to realize that in a relationship, a woman wants and needs to feel as if she is the only woman, the most beautiful woman, the sexiest woman, the sweetest, most wonderful woman in his life. A woman needs to be number one. And I'll second that notion. I thought it was just me who felt like that. And I actually felt bad that I have felt like that, and I do feel like that. I do want to be number one. I don't think that's a bad thing. Otherwise, what are we doing here? If I'm not your number one, then why are we even in this kind of relationship? You know? That's a workable definition, but it's not enough to be adored. The facts of life, was it ever better? Given the discontent with men, we wondered whether women think that their mothers had it any better. No. In fact, women today think they lead happier love lives. We asked a long-winded question. It's often said that people today enjoy more fulfilling relationships than ever before. And yet both sexes are busier and more stressed these days. Here's a tough question. If you had to guess, who do you think has enjoyed more fulfilling romantic relationships, you or your mother? Me, 76%. My mother, 24%. Women without partners were much more likely to answer my mother. No surprise there. Married women and women who are very satisfied with their relationships and sex lives were much more likely to answer me. The fabled female ego wants to be adored by the perfect man. My ideal man would be tall, 6 feet and over, sensitive, sweet, caring, spiritual, honest, understanding, and will love me until the day I die, wrote an anonymous respondent to our Magellan poll. Note, by the way, that sometimes women distract our attention from their egos by bashing our egos. This woman started her response by saying men should be less selfish, and not a trace of irony followed. Here's another survey respondent with a long list for Santa Claus. I like men who are tall, dark, and handsome. Give me compliments. Pay attention to me and only me. Are monogamous. Have no children and want a long-term relationship. I am looking for someone who makes me feel special and who has never been married. Someone who doesn't drink, smoke, or do drugs or alcohol. I want a special man. Then she leaves her address and phone number. She'll probably be furious with us because we declined to pass it along. Oh, were we supposed to turn ourselves into a free dating service just for her? What an ego. funny. I'm telling you, I'm asking for some tea sponsorships because this is pretty much all I drink. Oh, it's good. I wish men would surprise their women more, said Stephanie in Connecticut. I wish men would listen more. I wish men would make love when and how we want, even when they don't want or like how we want it. Calling all love slave, Stephanie wants you. Bring your own handcuffs. Women don't really want a man to be sensitive, just sensitive to their feelings, says Dr. Laura Schlesinger. Another key feature of the fabled female ego is its desire that men be able to read her mind and read between the lines. You'll read more about this in chapter 15. But here and now, listen to this honest self-assessment from Trixie, a 28-year-old single lawyer in Philadelphia. I can be very demanding at times, but I also like to feel like I'm not demanding. So pampering me without my realizing it is always a nice thing. Without me saying, I want this. You know what I mean. I want a mind reader, basically. That's the best kind of pampering. Well, I do agree that I also want things without needing to ask for them. No, but I don't expect a man to be a mind reader. I mean, that's just not possible all the time. Anybody care to step up to the plate for Trixie? Anybody out there who believes that someday she'll be satisfied? To be fair, not all of the desire for us to read between the lines is ego-driven. That's a component that is just feminine. Women converse in cushioned ways. It smooths their interactions with other women, but it complicates their interactions with men. In fact, one woman spoke to us of womanese, the language that women use to talk to one another, and it teases us with a wonderful idea. Why couldn't we just have a male-female dictionary? Then everyone's problems would be solved, right? Every guy dreams of this. Our friend Joe wanted us to forget this whole book and just do a big wall chart. When she says X, she means Y. Ah, if only. The trouble is, when she says X, she could mean A through Z. If she says, why don't you meet me for lunch today, it could mean, I'm down to $2 and some pennies. I'm bored. I miss you lately. I'm still mad about last month, and you haven't apologized. I don't want to have lunch with Anne again. My boss is hitting on me. 50 years Freud spends analyzing women, and he still can't figure out what they want. So this makes him the world's greatest expert on female psychology, says Claire Booth-Luce. This indirection is especially characteristic of the South, according to Southern writers and our personal experience. But wherever you live, you tend to listen to a conversation for the subject matter and ignore half of the details. Whereas women want to hear all of the details. Not only that, they want you to hear all of the details, and then out of all those details, figure out which two added together make her secret point. When you don't, some women are disappointed. Other women take it personally. The fabled female ego believes that womanese is the only language on earth. When men don't speak it, women get mad. They get downright insulting. Oh, it can be ugly. Men really don't think about things as deeply as we like to think they do, said Sandra in Washington, D.C. Women don't get how simply men's minds work, said a woman in Pensacola, Florida. Women need to understand guys are morons, claimed a trash talker in Queens, New York. Face it, women will inherit the earth and you will be caged, wrote a real sugar plum of a gal in Richmond, Virginia. Apparently, she doesn't think we'll ever recapture our feminine sides. The feminine hope to turn every man into the perfect man, perfect woman may just possibly be part of her hard wiring. A study of 104 British and Japanese women found that the ladies preferred the looks of manly men during the week when they were ovulating. When they were shown the same set of hunky photos during the other 3 weeks of the month, they thought that the smoother, softer, more sensitive looking guys were handsome. By comparison, yes, men are simple. Henceforth, we'll take that as a compliment. If contradiction is inherent in women, there's nothing in our culture right now to dissuade them from thinking that it's perfectly normal and okay and maybe even politically correct to flaunt it. Women don't want to be dominated and bullied, but neither do they want a man to be a baby. They want him to be a man. Then, when he's a man, they don't like it because that means he's too controlling and they're afraid of him. They all want heroes, but they want warm, tender, loving heroes. Oh, what a fantasy that is, says Olga Silverstein, therapist in Vogue magazine. And that completes today's story time. Did you enjoy that? I know I sure did. I would love to keep going on and on, but gotta save some for the next. Remember, you are a wonderful being who deserves a fulfilling life, who deserves a happy life. You're a blessed being who deserves a wonderful life. Thanks for watching and listening. Catch me in the next video. If you like what I'm doing here, like and subscribe, donate to my Cash app. And may you find lasting happiness.